I wanted to talk to you about a very interesting thing that a lot of you really don't think about, especially, you know, you men out there. And that is the biggest reason why women don't respect you. It's just so many different reasons, but a lot of things are out of your control. There's a lot of things that are out of your control as a man. So when that happens and things are out of control or out of your control because you can't control everything outside of you, you can't control things within you, how you think, what you say, and what you do. But when it comes to things that you can control, I want you to understand this one thing as a man. The biggest thing as a man that you have control over is you as a man in your manhood and being consistent. Because what you don't understand and you don't really realize is that when you're not consistent as a man, a woman picks up on that regardless. And the reason why I say that is because manhood and you being a man should always be a constant. Because no matter what woman you're with, no matter where you're at, no matter the situation, you will always be the constant in any situation, any interaction. You'll always be the constant. The variables, the things that change is the women and the situation. So, what does that mean? What specifically does that mean to you? What that means is, regardless of if you have problems in your relationship, when it comes to problems when you're dating, none of those things really are the bigger issue. Meaning, the woman's not the issue, the relationship's not the issue, dating is not the issue. What the issue is you being a man and understanding manhood and just being very, very, very consistent as a man, no matter what. Because the more consistent that you are as a man, the more consistent that a woman will show up as being the woman that is respectful to you. But when you're not being consistent as a man, here's what happens. Say, for instance, you act a certain way, you speak a certain way, you are a certain way, and the woman sees you when you first get into a relationship or when you're dating, the woman sees you and she's thinking that, hey, this guy says this, he does that, I believe him, he's a man. But what happens is the reason why she's losing the respect is because she starts to see what you say, that changes, your behavior changes, and you have to understand your behavior and the things you say, that comes from what you think. So if you are acting a certain way that's favorable to a woman and she likes it and she respects it and all this other stuff, the thing is, you have to be consistent. And you can't fake the funk. And what I mean by that is, if you're trying to fake the funk, this is what happens. What happens is a woman knows, okay, he's switching up. He's not being truthful in what he said from the beginning. He's faking the funk. And this is what happens. What happens is, so I don't confuse you, I want you to think about this. Like I said earlier, everything must align. How you think, what you say, and what you do. If any of that shifts, she knows that that is not really who you are, because you can only keep up being fake for so long. You can only keep up the facade for so long because your subconscious mind and how you think and how you operate at a deep level of who you are, that's who you are. So when you try to be somebody you're not, to appease a woman or to attract a woman, when you try to be somebody you're not, it may work for a couple days, maybe a couple months, years, no. But it'll work for a couple days, couple months. But the thing is, all of that shit will start to die down. One, because you already got what you want from the woman, right? Maybe you wanted sex, maybe you wanted companionship. Whatever it is, all of that dies down after a while. I got what I want. Okay, this is the real me. I can relax. I can take the mask off. This is the real me. And that happens on a subconscious level. The other thing is, whenever you are a certain way for so long, it has no other thing to do but to leak out who you truly are. Is you're going to show who you are regardless. It doesn't matter the tricks, the gimmicks. It doesn't matter what you learn, what you read. It doesn't. I could tell you the game. I can tell you the secrets. I could expose a lot of shit to you right now, where you're like, oh shit, I didn't know that. Oh, I didn't know that. That makes sense. Oh, I see why. But the problem is, this is the problem. It doesn't matter if your mind is not right. And what I mean by that is, if you're used to a poverty mindset, right? If you're used to a poverty mindset and that's all you've seen, that's all you know, and that is what you're surrounded by, your environment is just poverty, right? But then I tell you, like, hey, this is how you get $1 million. And I show you, you see me get $1 million. And you even try it yourself. And you're like, fuck, I got $1 million. Okay, cool. The problem is your mind is used to being in poverty. So your mind is going to do whatever it takes to get you into poverty, because guess what? That is what you are, and who you are at a subconscious level is deeper than that. So I say all that to say this. What you have to understand is, if you suck as a man and you need to improve and really be a man, because saying that you're a man doesn't make you a man. You have to be a man by what you say, what you think, what you do, all this other stuff. And it always have to line up. It always has to line up. It always has to be consistent. And when the shit lines up and it's consistent, and a woman sees that, then you don't have to necessarily worry about her disrespecting you. Because most of the time, women disrespect you is because you lied. And why did you lie? You lied because you probably wanted something, and you thought that you couldn't be yourself, so you had to lie in order to get what you wanted from her. And when she finds out that you're lying, she knows that, hey, this guy's lying. He's not who he say he is, and he's also putting me on a pedestal. But it gets deeper than that. I'm not going to talk about this on this video. I'm just making this video for you guys because, like I said, a gentleman was asking me, like, why do you have to be consistent, and what are the biggest reasons why women disrespect you? I made a video, I believe, 2 or 3 days ago on one of the topics. But the other thing, like I said, is you being consistent. When you are consistent, I'm telling you, when you're consistent, what happens is you start to, how can I put this? You start to imprint on a woman's subconscious mind. She sees that, okay, he's consistent by what he says and what he does. So now I know that this is who he is. I can feel safe. I can, so to speak, let my hair down and really be a woman in the relationship. And when a woman feels comfortable and confident with you, guess what? She doesn't want to test you. She doesn't want to bring drama your way. She doesn't want to disrespect you, because what? You make her feel comfortable and confident. So if she fucks that up, guess what? She's going to lose that comfort and confidence. But that's why I say you have to be consistent when it comes to you being a man and not lying about who you are. Now, the other reason is because when you're consistent about who you are as a man and you focus on yourself, manhood, guess what? Here's the other benefit. She will start to be consistent as her being a woman, being feminine. And it's a benefit for both of you. And that's the thing that a lot of guys don't understand. But going back to what I was trying to say earlier, and this is very important, is that understand that it doesn't matter where you're at. It doesn't matter what woman you're with. You, at the end of the day, you don't have to be in a relationship. You don't have to date. You always have to be a man about your shit. You always have to improve yourself. That's part of manhood. You will always win whenever you are a man about your shit and you're constantly improving yourself and you're focused on manhood and empowerment. Everything else falls into place, and that's the biggest detriment I see is a lot of guys and a lot of people that put content out there. It's so much focus on the woman and dating and relationships and how do I get her to do this and how do I get her to do that, and but it's like at the end of the day, the only person you can control is yourself. So when you're consistent in being a man and you're focused on your own self-empowerment and what you can control, when you focus on those things and those things are a top priority, everything else falls into place. I don't know how else to really make it clear and break it down to you, but that's what it is. And that's the biggest thing that women look at. She looks at, okay, how is he when it comes to keeping his word? How's he when it comes to being consistent? How's he when it comes to being a man? And when you are a man and you're consistent in being a man and you're more focused on yourself when it comes to empowering yourself in manhood, it, like I said, it doesn't matter what you do. Everything else falls into place. When you're at work, say for you have that fucking job you don't like, or career or business or whatever that you do like or don't like, it doesn't matter. Whenever you're a man, everything else falls into place. And what is being a man? Because you may be wondering, okay, what is being a man? Being a man has a lot of definitions. I'm not going to go into everything, but I will say it's you being consistent and being able to withstand and endure mental, emotional, physical, all these different challenges that life brings you, is you being able to still be consistent no matter what's going on around you. That stability, that rock, that man that isn't moved, isn't shaked, and isn't changed by what he thinks or what he believes, and you're just consistent on all of that, all of those fronts. But what happens is when you are that type of man, you attract women, but you don't just attract women, you attract their feminine side. You attract the respect. You attract all that stuff because you could look a certain way and be attracted to a woman physically, but when you start to behave a certain way and you start to speak a certain way and she sees that it's not consistent to being a man and you don't speak to her on a subconscious level, she's not going to be attracted to you for long. She's not going to trust you. She's not going to open up to you and see you as someone that she can fully respect and trust. But it gets deeper. Like I said, anything that you take from this video is pretty much me just telling you that you need to be more concerned about who you are as a man, your manhood, and self improvement and self empowerment. Because when you focus on those things, the women, the money, the business, all those things fall into place and it's just the perk. But when you focus on things outside of you, like focusing on the woman, focusing on her looks, all this other stuff, guess what? That is not going to get you the results that you want because it all starts with you. Anything you do, it all comes back to you full circle. So I hope that makes sense. I hope you got something out of it. Just remember what I said. If you need to watch this video over again, watch it. But being a man is just being consistent in what you say you're going to do. You think, you say, and you do. It's very, very simple. It's simple, but it's not the easiest thing to do for some of you out there. But hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you share it to a gentleman that may need to hear this message. And make sure you subscribe. If you're new to this video, if you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe to me. I make a lot of live videos to help you out, questions and answers, just to get some clarity in your life, whether it's your relationship or your dating or just yourself in general. Make sure you do that. And the other thing is, if you want to hop on a call with me where you can actually speak to me one-on-one, where I help you get clear on what your next steps are when it comes to dating, relationships, make sure you go ahead and book a 45-minute call. We'll get on there and we'll discuss where you're at, where you want to be, and what's stopping you from getting there, and get clear on everything for you. But until next time, make sure you have a good one, an outstanding one, and be safe out there. Let me read these comments, and then I will be sending you children on your way. Let's see. Hello, man. Hey, what's going on? Mentality is the only we have. Yeah, it's about your mentality. Like at the end of the day, everything you see out here is created from this, and then it's done through what you say you're going to do, and then also the action. So yes, that's true. Good stuff you were talking about. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, beer man guy. Hey, make sure you subscribe, man. If you're still watching this, I appreciate that comment. Let's see. Someone says no, it doesn't. Uh, I'm not sure what that's from, but yeah. But everybody that commented, I appreciate the comments, and make sure you leave some comments if you watch this live over again. Let me know what you're struggling with. Let me know what you're dealing with, so I can make content that really helps you guys out. Because at the end of the day, me having the knowledge and the wisdom and understanding of everything when it comes to relationships and dating and self empowerment, manhood, it does no good if I don't share it with you. So if you have any type of questions, or if you have any type of concerns, or you have any type of challenges that you're going through, make sure that you definitely, like I said before, leave a comment on the replay in the comment section, or send me an email, or hey, hop on with a one-on-one with me, absolutely free. So, but until next time, you guys have a good one. I will talk to you later. Great comments though, great comments. I appreciate that.